2.
Hey everyone, welcome to our fourth Friday Friendly. This session is going to be all about LGBTQ+. So today we have myself, I'm Kelly, I'm a youth worker amongst the SHIFT project, which has been discussed in one of our other Friday Friendlies. But I've worked for the youth service for 10 years and I've done a lot of work in the LGBT community. I'm also part of that community myself, so please don't fire loads of questions on me and expect me to know all the answers. I'll do my best. And then also among me is Natasha, my colleague. She is here as well. She's part of the youth service now, has been for a couple of years now, so she's going to help me in trying to answer all the questions you've got, and if you need any extra support, then we're going to try and point you in the right direction. If you experience any problems with the technical difficulties, anything like that, try and leave your questions in the chat bar. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. If it glitches for whatever reason, don't panic, we will answer them, or we can write on after and try and get in contact. But also we have our social media pages, One Life Youth on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. So please interact with us, get involved, write any of your questions in the Q&A box, and yeah, we'll do our absolute best to try and answer any of your questions. So, and if for any reason you feel that you need to reach out to one of the youth workers, please get in contact through our social media sites, and we'll allocate a youth worker to you who can provide some further support, or we can point you in the right direction. I thought I might say at this point as well, like Adam Smith, who works for Pride Cymru, he should be joining us today, but unfortunately with some technical difficulties, he's had some problems getting online. So we're hoping that he's amongst you guys in the chat bar. So Adam, if you are about, please feel free to jump into the chat bar and answer any questions that we might not know the answer to, and that with your knowledge and skill that you can answer. So yeah, whenever you're ready, guys. So in Monmouthshire, while we're here, I'll talk to you about any services that we've got in the area. So as a youth service, we provide LGBTQ+ support through one-to-one sessions with a youth worker. If there is like further support, I know with like transport, we can refer to CAM services, like Umbrella Cymru. They do a lot of LGBT support, like counselling services, any extra support, one-to-ones, peer support. Monmouthshire itself being an affluent area, I'm not sure there's like a massive ream of stuff like there would be in like the larger cities. That doesn't mean that we can't access those supports. So reach out to us if you do feel like you're struggling, or you just need someone to talk to, or you've got a friend that needs someone to talk to, and we can point you in the right direction. We can either work with you ourselves, or if you feel like actually specialist support's needed amongst our team, we have the skills and the knowledge of other services in the area that we can get you in contact with and support you for that whole transition phase. So it's not just about calling us and then not hearing off anyone. We'll support you all the way through until the service picks you up and provide you that support. I'll pass you over to Tash for a bit now. I'm probably bored of my own voice, so I'm sure Tash can share some knowledge with you as well.
Hi, so I'm Tash. I'm one of the youth support workers for Mon Life as part of the youth service. So before we went on lockdown, I know that there was an LGBT group that was running in Caldecott, Equality Street. They've done some fantastic work over the years to support young LGBT people, also holding the first Youth Pride event, and then making that into a bigger diversity festival year after. When lockdown first started, Cal and I started doing an online support group for young LGBT people to be able to sort of talk to each other, meet up over lockdown. We were hoping that would also make things easier to access if you aren't out, for instance, or if you feel uncomfortable, come into a group normally. With how lockdown's been on and off, that's been a bit difficult to maintain. But we've also been trying to do school support when we have been able to go into the schools. So yeah, it's just sort of trying to catch up with how things are. Adam was meant to be in to help us out, but we have had some technical problems. Hopefully he'll be able to turn up. That would be great. But we are trying to get that sorted. But it might just be through the chat box for now. But yeah. Sorry. I think one of the what?
Hey guys, I just had news now that Adam's amongst us, so he is in the chat bar.
Yes.
So hey Ad. Welcome. I'm not sure if there's any young people amongst us at the moment, but yeah, thank you for joining us. I'm sorry that you've had some technical difficulties, but I'm glad you're here now.
Oh, hooray, huzzah! That's wonderful news. Sorry. Oh dear. Okay, we've had one come through from Anonymous asking, how do you start an LGBT club in school? Cal, you'd probably be better equipped to answer this than I would. I'm not really sure what to say on that one.
Yeah, no problem at all. So an LGBT club can start in your school. I suppose through us as youth service, through you guys approaching your school, approaching a teacher that you trust, maybe a wellbeing team, or if you know any of your youth workers in the school, one of them. So I know in each of the areas we have a youth worker based in each of the schools. Abergavenny, we have Rhiannon Taylor, Alan Jones in Monmouth, Dave Charles in Caldecott, and Rory Clifford in Chepstow. So if you go to those guys, they used to sit on the same team as us, so they're exactly the same as us. They're non-judgmental. They're not going to out you to anybody, and you can just share like that you want an LGBT club to start in your school, and that you've got a group of young people that are interested. You and your mates want one, and then our job is to get into school, meet with you guys, and find a lunchtime or break time that suits you. And we're coming once a week, and we're kind of coordinate the club from a professional point of view. So anything that you need resource-wise or staff-wise, we're coordinate that. But then the session's led by you, and it can go. It can be what you want. It can just be a chat every week, or we can, make changes to the school policies possibly, or organise events, which has previously been done. So we've held 2 Pride events now in Monmouthshire, and that's thanks to our LGBT group that started as a small group in Caldecott, and it grew massively into our equalities and diversity group. And they were a bunch of young people who were really passionate about LGBT rights, and we worked with those young people over a 2-year period, really, all in all, until they turned 18 and went on to bigger and better things. And we, out of that group of young people, we organised 2 massive Pride events in Monmouthshire. They were amazing events, something that Monmouthshire has never seen before, and they were really, really successful. It wasn't just for, even LGBT people, it was for families as well. Advocates of LGBTs, allies, anyone that was really interested. We had stall holders and stuff there. So if this is something that you guys are interested in and want to be part of, then reach out to your local youth workers, and we will do everything we can to support you.
Yeah, the most important thing as well is that all of that positive stuff that came out of the Diversity Festival, Youth Pride, that was all led by young people. So any sort of LGBT support or involvement that you want to have, that's all down to you and how much you want, what you want to get from it. We're just here to sort of make it help you make it happen.
Yes. Oh, sorry, Tash. So Adam's just chipped in here as well. So it's good to have Adam here, because Adam, being part of Pride Cymru, he has reams of experience. So he's just said that they can put all questions submitted together, so he can give his answers then to the questions, which is really great. So if it's stuff that me and Tash you don't feel we've really answered, we will collate all these questions and pass them over to Adam, who will be able to go through and help you guys with anything that we haven't. And Adam also has links to help set up groups in schools. So he can help us link you guys to any guidance and support. So thanks for that, Adam, much appreciated. And below that then it says, how would you deal with homophobic teachers in school? That's a really good question, and I'm not sure I know the full answer to that, but what I can say is obviously report it immediately. It's not tolerated. It's exactly the same if young people were homophobic. yeah, it's not tolerated at all. I'm sure there's some sort of policy, and Adam can probably help me out with this actually, with how this would be dealt with in the correct manner. But yeah, really good question. I'm sorry I can't like really give you the answer to that because I don't think I know, but I can tell you for now, like, it's not tolerated. And yeah, there are definitely procedures and policies in place to handle that situation. Like I said, if a young person was being homophobic, that would be dealt with in a similar state. Natasha, I think you've got an answer, so I'll chuck over to you.
Well, it's as well as all of that, there are methods for reporting to teachers and stuff. You could speak to another teacher. You can speak to the pastoral support within your school, but it's the same case as any sort of bullying case. So familiarise yourself with your school's anti-bullying policy. They do have those policies in place. So that would mean that you might be able to go to the governing board for your school or the ombudsman. It's all a matter of, all schools are going to have different options, but if you have a look at what they are, that might be something to talk over with a youth worker or with another teacher or another adult that you know who you can trust and who will be able to support you best they can. But just don't let it slide, because you shouldn't be put in that position. But we appreciate it can be much more difficult to tackle than something that will be coming from your peers. Yeah, I'm not sure if Adam has anything that he might want to sort of chip in with that one. Sorry, we have some of the other staff here at the zone at the minute, just sort of floating around in the background. So if anybody passes by him, well, that will just be that, won't it? So, have a look. Not really sure. In terms of what we had to come through, I think we've had a question from Adam about what sports services do we have in the area. I'm not sure if that was testing out the chat box or not. But hello. Here's Adam's response. First point is your head teacher or your deputy head teacher. Yeah, definitely. Then if a young person has the confidence to approach the school to see if they'd be able, if they would allow LGBT develop and deliver awareness training sessions for teachers. Yeah, organisation, there you go, it says as well, many organisations like Umbrella Cymru, Pride Cymru or Stonewall can help. Yeah, those LGBT organisations are there to help train staff as well as to provide information for young people. So if there are areas where people could do better, it's important to have the training for things to be able to improve. That's an excellent question. Oh, here, I think there's a question in the thing that's just come through. Kelly, do you want to chip in on this one? It says, how do you change your name in school to your chosen name?
Okay, so there's a bit like a blurred line, I think, around this. So I think Monmouthshire kind of had their own way of doing it. And you might not agree with this, and I don't know if I agree with it. It's just something that I've had to deal with before with young people. So if they're under the age, or you guys are under the age of 16, they will not change your name on the school register without parental consent. Now, there might be a policy somewhere floating around that Adam may know about, and I'm pretty sure that I've delved into this before with Umbrella Cymru about having name changes on registers. But just from experience of working with a young person in Monmouthshire, for me to be able to get his name changed to his male name, his preferred name, we had to get parental consent, which I know can be really, really difficult for young people because necessarily, like, school is a safe place and home may not be. So I would suggest in that sort of sense is to speak to someone you trust among your school and ask the question. Or speak to a youth worker and ask that question. I know with sixth formers, it's been more of an easier process because of the consent age at 16, where ID badges have been changed, registers have been changed. Obviously, by default, it's a different thing. But if it's a known as name, as far as I'm aware from experience in Monmouthshire, yeah, you need parental consent to be able to make that happen. But yeah, there might be policy somewhere else, and Adam might have the answer to support you there, and I might be wrong. So if there is a policy that says you can change your name without parental consent, then that's something we can look into approaching the schools in Monmouthshire and addressing that issue if that is true. But yeah, that's just me speaking from experience. So it doesn't mean I'm right. It just means it's something I've had to deal with before.
There's Jade, who is helping us with production in the background, has also mentioned that there are organisations that are out there to support trans youth or non-binary young people, such as Mermaids is one, but the one that Jade has mentioned is Umbrella Cymru, who have a sign-up option to be able to receive support. So that would be something to have a look into as well. Umbrella in particular offer a fantastic support service, so they'd be definitely something to look at. Adam, do you have anything that you'd like to add on that front? I appreciate we're probably going to have a little bit of a delay because typing takes time. Oh dear. Minor technical difficulties on my end. Sorry about that. We also we've also had a chance to sort of discuss some of these points with the youth council.
Oh, sorry, Tash. Sorry, Tash, jump on there. I just saw now that the E2C group. So we've been part of obviously the E2C meetings, which is the Engage to Change meetings, which is the youth council that is coordinated by Jade, who's our background woman for today. So she's trying to handle all the buttons, and she keeps jumping between me and Tash. I think she forgets who's who, so that's right, we'll forgive her this time. So I just want to make a point to say, like, you know, thank you all the E2C guys that I think you're in the chat. There seems to be a lot of young people in here, so great if you are. Don't be shy, jump in, question us, anything that you want to bring forward, guys. Yeah, please feel free. It helps us out anyway. It makes my brain tick on a Friday afternoon, gets my brain thinking rather than settling down. So yeah, feel free, jump in, have a chat with us, and yeah, fire away anything you need to say.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, we've just had Adam's response to the how to change your chosen name school, and he said it's down to individual schools and their policies and how trans inclusive they are. It would be worth speaking to the school and holding a focus group to try and get policy changed if needed. Excellent point. Thank you, Adam. Thank you. Got another interesting question that's come through. How supportive is Monmouthshire compared to the rest of Wales? That's quite a hard one to answer, isn't it? To be honest, I don't think I've had enough experience in youth work to be able to speak on that one, so probably Kel's better to answer.
Oh, I wouldn't really say I knew the answer to this one, but whoever wrote this question, I'd be really interested to know what you think. I'd be really interested to know if you think Monmouthshire is as supportive as the rest of Wales, and maybe everyone else that's in the chat, maybe you could jump in and help me out with this one. And what do you think? If you're Monmouthshire young people, do you think Monmouthshire's as supportive for the rest of Wales? I'd be interested to know the answer myself. So why don't you lot jump in and answer the question for me, because yeah, I'd be interested to know as young people in Monmouthshire what your opinion is, because actually I'm not sure working for Monmouthshire I'd be the right person to answer that, because it can be quite biased. So as young people who attend the schools, who attend the venues around Monmouthshire and attend the services around Monmouthshire, do you think they're supportive? Who knows? I want to hear it from you.
Just as an anecdotal point as well, I was on some training this morning, and one of the I think one of the people from, I think it was from Stonewall, brought up that quite often within the schools, that whenever they're unsure about LGBT support and how to support young people who are facing those kinds of challenges, that they tend to refer to the youth service. So I think it tends to be that we tend to be like the people that people come to within Monmouthshire for young people who are LGBT. But again, that's anecdotal and doesn't say anything about how supportive the whole county actually is, or the schools. We've also had another good question come through: how to find good LGBT representation. Not sure if that means in media or in just as role models or anything, but we were E2C were talking about this the other day about something called queer baiting, which is where I'm going to try and get this right, where you have TV shows or films or just media in general that claim that they're going to put characters out there that are LGBT, and then it's just subtext and it's not very clear and you could easily gloss over it. Nothing's fully committed. Like, they don't actually come out and say this person is XYZ. This character is gay, has a relationship, etc. So yeah, that can be a real issue. There are some good examples of LGBT representation in media. I'm not sure what the age rating is for it, but It's a Sin recently has got a lot of traction. That's a good one to check out, covers the AIDS crisis. And then there's other ones. I'm trying to think. Not Euphoria. But it's sort of all of. I'm floundering at this point. Oh no, Jay's laughing. You guys can't see this. Jay's laughing at me. So, oh dear. We've had some good questions come in since then. Let's move on. How do you report someone who has been using slurs to your school, and who do you report them to? Kelly, take it.
Over to me. So how do you report someone who has been using slurs to your school, and who do you report them to? So I think it's all that depends down to the person, really, like who you trust in your schools. So I would say like your wellbeing team, but not necessarily does everyone have a relationship with your wellbeing team. So it just needs to be someone that you trust, guys. Like, that could be your head of year, that could be your English teacher, it could be the receptionist, it could be the school nurse. You know, I don't think it necessarily matters. I think it just needs to be someone you trust, and explain that this situation is happening. All the schools in Monmouthshire have anti-bullying policies, and that includes homophobic bullying as well. A little bit of like history on me. So when I did my university dissertation, I actually did it on LGBT slurs and homophobic language in schools. So a lot of my research was about if homophobic language is used in schools, how is it dealt with? So I did my research actually on the schools in Monmouthshire. So all the schools do have an anti-bullying policy, and I've actually looked through all of them to make sure that LGBT homophobic bullying fits in all those categories, which it does. So yeah, it is their right as a teacher and their responsibility to make sure that is, dealt with professionally and in the right manner. And for you as a young person, you have every right to report it, and I'd encourage that you report it, because we can't be in schools all the time, and this language is passed around. It doesn't make it okay, but we can't pick up on it all the time, and you guys are our eyes and ears everywhere. So by you guys reporting it means that we can tackle it in the right manner and make sure that we've got the resources and the availability then to come into schools and perform workshops and do work alongside you guys to inform, educate young people, educate teachers on homophobic language and behaviour and how it's not appropriate, and get everyone involved and make sure that everyone's on the same page, and we all have a role to play, really, to stop this from happening. So if you guys report it to someone that you trust within your schools, they are bound to have to report that and deal with it professionally, which helps us guys then further on down the line create resources and educate young people and teachers in making sure this doesn't carry on. I don't know if there's any more questions. Oh, Adam's jumped on you now. Adam said, regarding slurs, your school will have procedures in place to report these comments. If no luck, your youth workers can help. So yeah, thanks, Ad. Thanks for that. Yeah, and absolutely, we can help, and we will help, and we will do everything within our power to ensure this doesn't happen to you again. And if that means that we have to deliver workshops and teach your teachers how to do it properly, then yeah, so be it. Yeah, we do everything we can, and feel free to reach out to us, guys. We've got youth workers in all the areas of the county. So we've got 3 youth centres. I know at the moment they're not open due to COVID, but if you can go on Mon Life Youth, I think I'm right in saying that, Tash, on Instagram and Facebook, you can drop us a message and one of our qualified youth workers will pick it up and allocate it to a youth worker in your area to drop you a text or a call and get in contact with you.
Yeah, absolutely. The most important thing when you're being you've got slurs coming to you is to just be consistent, keep reporting it. Doesn't matter how many times you have to report it. It's not going to get stale. Just keep reporting it, keep telling it to people. Just be consistent with it. Adams, we've had another question come in since then. How can you help support a loved one if you have an unsupportive family? That's quite a tricky one, isn't it? I saw something quite nice about this the other day. I think it's called like the 5 C's or something, and it was compassion, like, be compassionate towards them, be compassionate towards yourself, and all that. Be consistent. So if somebody is being homophobic towards someone you care about, call it out. Keep calling it out. Don't let it slide. Connect. Try and encourage people to report what's happening to them, or to connect with other people who share their experiences, so that you're not feeling so lonely. Recognize what you don't have control over. So that can be quite hard when you've got family members in particular. So that's, you can't control how they're going to feel, act or respond, but you can control how you feel, act and respond. And just keep trying to build supportive relationships and a supportive network outside the home as well. Kel's got her hands up, I think.
Yeah, hi guys, I'm just reading through. I'm a bit slow behind on the questions, I think, but Adam's put a really good message in here, and he was saying that support can come in many forms. So I think he's kind of answered your question about supporting a loved one. So he said himself that when he came out, he was kicked out by his own mum, and he found comfort from knowing friends were there for him, not even just to talk about anything LGBT plus, but all means of life. So just be there, ensure the person knows you're there, and try to make fun and enjoyable times together. I think that's a lovely answer, and actually I think that really sums it up. It's just to be there for that person, and if you feel like they need more support, and then there's pointing them in the right directions towards your youth workers or someone like Adam and his support groups, which are fantastic, and it's a safe place to go. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. I'm just going back up because there's a few more here. Someone's asked if I've actually seen any school exercise or anti-bullying policies. I can't say I have, unfortunately, no. I mean, I know where you're getting at. It's so easy to say it's written in paper, and I totally agree with you if I think this is what you're getting at. Yeah, it's easy to say it's written in paper and that the schools are going to do it, and do they actually exercise it? No, I haven't seen it, and I would like to know if any of you have seen it, because like I said, I'm not based in schools anymore, but you guys are in school, and if you've experienced anything, then maybe you can answer to me if you've seen it exercised in school, or if you feel like actually no, it hasn't been exercised in school and it needs to be. I'm happy to hear from you and actually and support you in making that happen. If for example, you say no, it's not being exercised in school, then yeah, maybe something does need to be done about it. So yeah, we're happy to help you here. I hope that, I don't know if there's any more questions.
There's one from another anonymous person. Do you have any ways to deal with the exhaustion which comes with having to come out to people and defend your sexuality or gender, with the fact that you have to be in straight cis people's place to go to for queer information? Ooh, that's quite a tricky one to answer. Cal, do you have anything that you'd like to sort of tackle on that one, or?
I'm just reading, just rereading it a sec. That's okay. Do you have any way? Is that the one you're on, Tash? Any ways of dealing with the exhaustion which comes to having to come out to people? That's one. The fact that you have to be straight cis people.
Yeah, it's wrapping your head.
That's a really good question, actually. Yeah, like I don't really know the answer to that question, but do you know what, that's a really fantastic question. Adam, have you got an answer for it? Actually, I think actually Jade, who's our presenter, is full of knowledge and stuff like this, and she just likes to stay quiet in the background. So actually, Jade, you can speak up and go and get off mute.
Here we go. I managed half an hour of keeping quiet, so well done me. But this one, I was thinking about it whilst reading it, and I think sometimes you've got, in your life, you've got drains and radiators. Some people fill you up, they warm you up, they make you feel great, and some people take a bit of your energy, and if they're a bit negative, they will sap that. And I've always been told that to kind of deal with that, you need to offset it with positive people. So if you are getting, you know, down from other people not, you know, appreciating who you are, then yeah, my suggestion is to spend some time each time with somebody of the opposite that could bring you up a bit. That was my 5 pence. I'm going to shush now and put you back onto Tash. Thanks.
Yeah, I don't have all that much more to sort of offer than that, but just it can be very exhausting to have to sort of defend who you are repeatedly around so many people, particularly people who don't really always understand what's going on or what that means for you. But that, more than anything, it tells you how important it is to have LGBT friendly spaces, to be more inclusive, so that people don't have to sort of assume that everyone is cisgender or straight, you know, as the automatic default assumption. So that comes with sort of like how we sort of develop as a society. But as well as that, it's why it's so important to have these LGBT groups available for young people. So you've got at least one space where you don't have to defend who you are 24 hours a day. And Jade's also just chucked in the chat, and she's absolutely right. Speak to your youth workers. Yes, 100%. Talk to us. If you're feeling exhausted, come and have a vent to us. We will listen. Adam's also put a very good response here. Though in life we shouldn't have to come out, remember it is your choice if you want to come out or not. It's your life, it's your choice. Absolutely. If people keep expecting you to come out, then they're people you don't want to be around. Yeah, your coming out is, it would be great if it was something that you say once and it's done and that's it, it's over with, but in reality it's not like that. So just sort of, it's your control, you know, it's something that you have control over. Don't worry. Like, yeah, sorry, I've got lots of, I can see lots of hands flying around in the background.
I was just going to go on to the next question, that was all. I was reading the question ahead, Tash, so sorry about that. Like, you were answering that question phenomenally. Like, everything you said was spot on. But I have to read ahead, otherwise I'm useless and I get lost up in the chat. So probably to everyone this looks really crazy, but I'm not this reading on the screen. I've got glasses on, I still can't see. So the next question says, how would you explain to someone not to use slurs, as in when they use it, it's not to be mean, but because they claim it's just a word. Now, I think the only way you can explain this is it might just be a word to them, but it's not just a word to you. And if that person's have any consideration of your feelings, then just by saying, look, can you not use that word, please? You know, I find it offensive, or anything like that. It doesn't sit right with me. Can you not use that word around me? Then, you know, if that person's got any consideration of how you feel, then yeah, they should stop. And if they don't have any consideration of how you feel, then I don't know, maybe question if they're the right people to be hanging around with. I know that can be quite blunt, but I think you need to question really, like, maybe who you're hanging about with, and if they're bringing that positivity to your life, like Jade said, yeah, with radiators and drains. And if those people are not understanding how you're feeling and that actually offends you, to be using slurs like that, then yeah, maybe they're not the positive people that you need around. I'm just checking now to see if there's any more questions. I think there might be. I hope that answered your question, sorry. So I think Tash going to go on to this one. I'll just read the question out, or Tash, go on, you go ahead.
Yeah, generally, if you, with the slurs thing, I mean, you're going to have people who are going to turn around and be like, oh, it's just a word. Well, you're not the person on the end of it, so it's not just a word to the person hearing it, right? If it's a repeated issue, make sure that you, I mean, I know that we keep saying it, but talk to your youth workers, talk to your wellbeing team in school, talk to people about how it's affecting you. And, you know, if you talk to us, that might give us a chance to be able to come into your school and do, say, a presentation or a workshop, and we can then be the ones to tell people why it's not just a word, why it's a slur, you know, and you don't have to have that burden of having to be the person who educates someone else. That's not something that should have to be your job. You're just trying to live your life. Yeah, that was just sort of my 2 pence on that one. Here's Adam as well. Be as direct to the person as possible. If they use slurs, ask them to stop and tell them how it makes you feel. If they keep using them, they clearly have little respect for you. Yeah, that's absolutely it. Keep it straight, keep it simple, keep it so they can't misunderstand it. Just state it as simply as you can. And then if they carry on, they're not within your control. Just try and surround yourself with people who are going to be kinder to you, I guess. But don't, like, do talk to your youth workers as well. Please talk to us. There's been some other ones that have sort of come through since then. Here's one. Has COVID helped LGBT youth or not? On one hand, we don't have to be around homophobes, but on the other, it's hard to get in touch with support. I'm not sure if Jane is waving her hands around because she wants to answer one of these, or nope. There we go. That was a quick no there. I'll be honest, that's not something that we can really answer. It would be interesting to hear in the sort of comments in the Ask box what some of the experiences for LGBT young people have been. You know, just in terms of how has it been for you? Has it been nice to have a break from it, or are you feeling more disconnected from it? Sound off and let us know. Kelly's got a hand up, I think.
Yeah, so I'm just going down now to the question that Tash was just talking about. So I'm losing track here. So about the COVID one, yeah. Has COVID helped LGBT youth or not? Personally, I don't know. I'm not an LGBT youth anymore, unfortunately. I'm still LGBT, but I don't fit the youth category because I'm old. So personally, I don't know if it's helped. I understand what you're saying. That yeah, it's probably hard to get in touch with support. And I think Tash nails it there. There is support out there. I know it's difficult with the digital times and getting access, but this is what we're here for, guys. So we're here to help you get that support. And if it's not us and we're not the right people for it, then we've got the contacts to make sure that someone can help you and support you, even through these tough times of COVID. Again, I'd like to know if you think COVID's helped. Because yeah, I'm not youth anymore, unfortunately. I keep saying that, but I am old now. So I think Tash, there's some more questions. I don't know if you want to jump on and I've missed the question.
Yeah. It looks like we skated over one accidentally. How can you respond to someone who fetishizes your gender identity or sexuality? Oh wow, that is a tricky one to answer. I think we've had a response to come through from Adam, which is quite good. Here we are. It's difficult as it is a fetish for an individual. It's impossible to change that. My advice would be to avoid them and don't have any contact with them. Yeah, I'd agree. It's just, you are a fully fledged person. You know, one part of you, your gender identity or your sexuality, isn't all of who you are. So don't feel compelled to hang out with someone who reduces you to just that. You're a full person. If it's really uncomfortable for you, I limit your contact with them or just talk. I know we keep coming back to talk to people who can help, but please talk to people who can help, because it is wearing to sort of have that put on you. Has there been? I'm not sure if Kel wants to jump in on that or anything before I ask the next one that's come through.
I just wanted to quickly comment that obviously Adam's been really great, guys. He's responding to us with answers of his own. So when he spoke about the COVID one I just briefly spoke about, he said, let me just find it. Has COVID helped LGBT youth or not? On one hand, we don't have to be around homophobes. On the other hand, oh, it's gone now. It's being published. 2 seconds. But the other hand, it's hard to get in touch with support service. Young or old, COVID has caused issues for LGBT plus people, especially around mental health. For some young people, being stuck at home with homophobic parents can be extremely difficult. Soon places will be back open and back up. And then better for young people. So what he's saying is, and I agree with what Adam's saying, is it is difficult times, guys, but we're working as hard as we can to get things opening, following obviously COVID guidelines. But yeah, reach out to us and we will put things in place to try and help you get some support.
100%.
So let's just go back to the questions then. So the last question we had was about fetishes, wasn't it? So the next one, I believe, is has there been any plans to make it easier to report discrimination? I think that's the next question. I don't know the answer to that question, sorry. But that is something I'm happy to research and find out. I can speak to the Children's Commissioner, maybe even the Youth Council, and see if they can do some digging for us as well. I'm sure E2C would be happy to look into that and find out if there's anything they can do, and speak to everyone they know. So E2C lot, if you're on here, I've just set you a massive task to do, so thanks for that. Let's just have a look and if there's any more questions. Tash actually has got something to say, so I'll pass on to Tash while we look at the other questions.
Yeah, it's just very quickly, as far as discrimination goes, also bear in mind we mentioned it earlier about knowing your anti-bullying policy and options outside of just reporting it internally to your head teacher and all the rest of it. Also be aware of the options that you have for reporting online hate speech, right? You do have the tools that are out there. So I think I think for instance, COP, if somebody is sending you sexually disturbing or anything that makes you feel uncomfortable, that's ceop.police.uk. That's a way to report things. Also make sure you have a look at, I think it's truecrime.org, or I'll look it up and I'll pop it on the Instagram afterwards, and as well as Fearless, right? All of these are online anonymous reporting options for you, right? You don't have to sort of just endure people sending you absolutely horrible stuff online. You do have methods for reporting it. So just make sure you familiarise yourself with them. We've had some come through since then. Kel, you've got your hands up.
Yeah, so 2 questions that I feel like I can potentially answer. So what should you do if someone's threatening has outed you? Now that's 2 different things there, because if someone's threatening you, that to me is a hate crime. It can be criminal. It's threatening. If it's threatening to you, your property, or your personal self, then I believe that's a police matter. And that should be reported. I don't know, Adam might want to correct me there, but I'm pretty sure if it's threatening you as a person or your property, then that's a police matter. If someone's outed you, that's just an awful thing to do. And I don't know what people seem to think they've got the right to do that to someone. I'm not sure what you could do. If you're looking for someone to talk to about it, then us professionals can help you. I'm not sure we can do anything. We can't take that decision back, unfortunately, if someone's done that. It happened to me, and it's not the greatest experience. It happened to me when I was a young person too, and all I can say is your story, and it's your story to tell. And unfortunately, if someone's taking that story away from you, it's not the best feeling. But just hold your head up high is what I'd say to that. Yeah, you're you. Don't change who you are. Don't let them get you down. Stay true to you and be proud of yourself. Don't let anyone rain on your parades, because you don't deserve that. And I'm always here to talk to you if you want someone. Second question, do you have any advice on what to do when you are waiting for services like Umbrella Company and they've got a waiting list too long? Yes, I do have the answer. I am your answer. So I coordinate a shift project for young people with any wellbeing issues or mental health issues. And I'm not saying that you've got wellbeing or mental health issues. You are just waiting for a service to support you. We can also do that. So us youth workers, professional friends, and we can talk to you and provide you that support whilst you're waiting for other services, and we'd be happy to do that. So if you want to, the thing is, because you're anonymous, I don't know who you are, so I don't know what area you're from either. So if you can maybe access our Facebook page or our Instagram page and drop us a direct message with, it doesn't have to be a name, just maybe just like your first name would be helpful, but if you don't want to give us your name as of yet, maybe just your area, and say that you're on this Friday Friendly today and that you spoke to Kelly and Natasha and that you're looking for some support while you're waiting to access another service. And between us, one of my team will pick it up and we'll reach out to you and get in contact if you need that support. Tasha has got an answer as well. Maybe she's got another way of being able to get you that support.
Yeah, just to also bear in mind that as well as shift, because sometimes like shift has some time to go through, it takes time. There's also our digital support form, which is that's available at, I'm going to pop the link up now. There we go. You don't have to get parental consent for that if you aren't out to your parents, right? That's one of the things that we were very clear on with LGBT young people in particular. That is a way to be able to talk to a youth worker about whatever's bothering you, anything that's going on. So you don't have to worry about going to your parents and going, oh, well, I'm LGBT, I've got to fill this out, can you give me permission? No, you can do that for yourself. And that's just a way to be able to have someone to talk to if you need it. And Kel's got her hands up, so check that.
Yeah, fantastic, Tash. And yeah, you literally took the words out of my mouth, that about confidentiality, and obviously we wouldn't ever out you to your parents, and that works the same for the Shift project. If you do put a digital support form through, which I would recommend, one of our youth workers pick it up. And if you do want more wellbeing support from our Shift team, then we can also take that as a self-referral from our digital forms. So I believe that between us, I think like Jade and Natasha oversee the digital forms actually, so they will know who you are and from this Friday Friendly. And actually we've got more Friday Friendlies coming up. So we host them every Friday, which is fantastic. And it's not always this beautiful face looking at you, but the rest of our team are not that bad looking either. So we do let them show their faces every now and again. So we've got gender equality, gender identity, eating disorders, Insta versus reality. So these are just different topics that are coming up in the weeks. There's loads more. That's just a few off the top of my head. You probably could put a special request in if you did want to see me. I'm happy to do that. I am famous amongst youth workers, so yeah, I'll take that. But yeah, so we've also got votes at 16. One which is obviously that's the next one. I think that's next week actually. So yeah, that's a really good one because it's something that's not discussed enough, I believe. I'm just going to go back to that one's with Josh, Daryl, and Abby. Yeah, they're all right. I'm just going to go back to what Adam said in regards to the, someone threatening or outing you. So a threat due to your sexuality or identity. It is then a hate incident. Could be a crime. If someone wishes to out you, you are a better person. Much as it can bring fear and worry, it is little you can do. You could call 101 and a community support officer could get involved. If it isn't a crime, but it isn't a crime, so nothing legal can come from it. Remember though, you have friends, families, youth workers around to give you support if needed. So to what others say, whoops, but be you, be true and be proud. I read that word for word, so if they class that as a swear word, I'm sorry. Apologies now.
Can I just say, this is great having Adam on. We're really lucky to have you on, Adam, so thank you so much. There's also been an earlier response from Adam for, what's it called? Reporting discrimination, and he's absolutely right to point it out. Victim Support is Wales' leading organisation reporting hate and discrimination. That was what I was trying to think of, but I couldn't think of the name of it. Yes, Victim Support Online. You can now report via third-party reporting. They do need to improve their engagement. They also need to report any form of hate via local authorities and housing associations. So yeah, that's the other thing. When you report things online, it's victim support in particular, what they do is they send the report to your local police station, right? But they anonymize it. So it won't say, oh, it's from, you know, Joe Blogs down the street. It will just say there's been a hate incident, all the rest of it. So you can put as much detail or as little detail as you want. That's all down to you. Oh, we've got a lovely little reply from Adam saying thank you and a pleasure to be involved. Oh dear. Oh dear. I think I'm not. Let's go to Cal.
On to me. Back to me again. I'm super famous here. I got all the girls laughing in the background. It's hilarious. I'm here all week, guys. I am that funny. So we've got 10 minutes left. All right. So please keep firing questions at us. I feel like saying fire questions at me because I've seen more of my face on this screen than anyone else's. So yeah, fire questions away. I hope we've been a little bit helpful. I hope we've made you laugh a little bit. I hope we've cheered up your little Friday session. It's been a laugh for me. Yeah, like these sessions are absolutely fantastic. It's a really good way for you guys to get involved and ask any questions anonymously, which is great. So please don't hesitate. Keep firing them away. And yeah, this doesn't just stop here. Yeah, it goes on. Support continues. We're always going to be here. So I'm going to pass you back over to Tash.
Yeah, I just thought I'd ask as well, because we put out yesterday about people being able to sort of send comments in and questions before the thing if they wouldn't be able to sort of turn up, and I thought it'd be interesting to get Kelly and Adam's sort of like responses to this, because we got a question from a parent actually asking what they can do to be able to, if your child has come out as trans, what sort of tips might you give to help them support your child better? I know that when doing these for young people, but you know, it might also be that this is something that could be helpful as well. So just thought I'd ask you two what you guys had sort of thoughts on that front.
Yeah, so can you repeat the last bit, Tash? What was it? Tips on how to support, was it? What was it?
Yeah, how to support and be like a good parent to a young person who is trans or non-binary.
That's you know how amazing that parent is even approach the subject. I just want to take credit to that parent for wanting that support and asking the question. And I'd say to any parent, just be you, love your kid. They're yours, and just be there, you know. Yeah, love them for who they are. Just be as every parent should be. Yeah, there's like just go on the journey with them, you know, support them, be there. And if it's gonna be a rocky road, it's not everything's gonna be easy. Do some research. Ask about Google's fantastic. Yeah, talk to people. Talk to other trans parents, you know. There's so many other services around. I think Mermaids is a good service, and there's like services that Mermaids are run, I believe, by trans parents. Actually, they're volunteers, so they're fantastic people to talk to because they know. So yeah, use different services as a parent. Google it. Speak out. Speak to your kid. Yeah, find out what they want to talk about. Find out what's, because actually you'll be surprised that young people know way more than us adults. Right, so ask them. Don't be afraid to sit down with your child and say, "What can I do to help you? I want to be there for you. I'm your mum. I'm your dad. I love you. What can I do to help?" And yeah, that's basically it, really. Let the young person lead the way. Follow them on that journey, wherever that journey may take them. That was really soppy of me to say as well, actually. So yeah, that was soppy. That's all you're going to get off me. Adam, I don't know if you want to jump in here and out with more of a professional response rather than a soppy one.
Yeah, it's Cal. Have a look at the comments. All right, okay. Yeah, and this is what I sort of already sort of replied with, as well as Mermaid, F flag. So that's the Friends and Families of Lesbians and Gays. I think that's what it stands for. But they also support sort of anybody who falls under the LGBT umbrella. They have amazing materials that can help educate family members. Also, if you're a parent, look for different support groups for parents. It's guaranteed what questions you have, another person will have the answers for it. Yeah, 100%. If you've got parents or friends or other family members who are feeling a little bit stuck and you feel uncomfortable answering questions, or just like you want to just sort of pass that back, F-Flag is a great resource to be able to send to people, so that you don't have to answer all those questions yourself as well. So F-Flag, have a look at them. We've got 5 minutes left, so if you've got any questions that you'd like to get in, just get them in mega quick. But other than that, we'll have this link available for you to be able to rewatch the to rewatch the live stream. And if you do have any other questions, make sure you contact us. We are around. It's a little tricky to be around at the moment, but we are around, and we're always here to sort of support. If you want to have a chat one-to-one, so that could be whatever form you want, a text, a phone call, an email, a Zoom call, whatever you fancy, use our digital support form. It's there to be able to give you that one-to-one contact. We also do every day, Monday to Thursday, I think it is, at 3:30 till 4:30, we have an hour a day for you to be able to come along, drop in and hang out with people and just have a general chit chat. And also, we'd like to say a big thank you to E2C, the wonderful Youth Council, for being so involved this week in terms of helping us with research, bringing us topics to be able to talk about, and just really getting so involved. You guys have been absolutely phenomenal this week, so thank you so much.
Yeah, I'll just echo that. Thank you very much to the Youth Council, all you E2C lot. Yeah, without you guys, things like this don't happen, because you are our eyes and ears for everything, really. And without you going away and really diving deep into, issues that young people face and that are relevant, sometimes we can be out of the loop without even realising it. So thanks to you guys for really diving in and helping us support you and supporting your peers and your friends in the area. So a big shout out to you.
There's one last, firstly, also a thank you to Jade, because she's been a great moderator and a great support, and she's actually put in the chat, if you guys have a look, she's put in the chat the links for Mermaids, Umbrella and F-Flag, so just copy them, keep them, great idea. Kel, there's also one from Adam, who is your LGBT icon. It's History Month after all.
Yes, true, I am my own LGBT icon, Adam, as you are probably aware. No, I'm joking. So my LGBT icon, do you know, it's really tricky, and I've been thinking about this all week, and I've been finding it really difficult to kind of put my finger on it. So yeah, I don't know. There is so many. So Adam, why don't you fire away and give me yours first, and then I can have a little think about who I want to finalise on my top three, and then we'll go to Natasha. But I'll take this couple of minutes now before we go to thank you, Jade, for being in the background and laughing at all my jokes. Much appreciated.
Oh dear. Oh, crap. Oh, whoops. I didn't realise that I was on camera. Whoops. I think Jade has just put in the comments for you guys to let us know as well. Yeah, that would be great. Personally, I mean, it's probably the easy sort of historical option to go to. I think Alan Turing is amazing, just in terms of somebody who's able to save so many lives with World War II, in father computers. That is amazing. And then also to have gone through so much and only recently be historically pardoned. That, I'm just glad that he's getting the recognition he deserves now. But, I guess, there we are. Oh, we had somebody say Amanda Steinberg. Oh yeah, that's what's her name? Rue from Hunger Games, isn't it? I think that's it. I'm not sure. Cal, you've had a minute to think.
Yeah, I've got a minute. So here we go. I'm going to chuck a couple of your way now. And I had to Google the name. This is really bad. But so Elliot Page was a really good one. So I've just watched the Umbrella Academy actually, and then that happened, so that was fantastic. Like, what an amazing thing. So also, I always say her name wrong, Lavina Cox from Orange is the New Black. Big love there, massive love right there. I could probably go on, like Lady Gaga, and her work with the LGBT community, and she sits right up there for me, you know. Everything she does, just who she is, just blows my mind. So if someone could be supportive of the LGBT, if everyone supported the LGBT community like Lady Gaga, we'd be in a happy, happy world, wouldn't we? So yeah, big shout out to Gaga there.
God, I wish I'd taken Gaga now. We've got one coming through from Adam. I have many icons. Lord Cashman. I've never heard of Cashman, but that's we'll definitely have a look at him. Alan Turing, yes, again. But my icons are the unsung icons who are fighting and campaigning for our rights. Yes, Adam, preach, 100%. Got Jade making heart like big heart icons in the background. We're out of time, guys, but we'd love to keep this thing going. We'd love to keep chatting to us. If you would be interested in asking us any further questions, DM us on Instagram, on Facebook, or email us, or get in contact in whatever way you like. Use that digital support form to get that one-to-one support. But yeah, just we'd love you to stay in contact with us. We're all here for you. And I think, Kel, do you have anything you want to say?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for all your participation throughout this whole session. Like I said, it's really brightened up my Friday, and I hope it has for you. Adam, a massive shout out to you. Thank you so much for getting involved. I'm sorry that we couldn't see your wonderful face on here joining us today, but thank you for getting in the comments and answering all those amazing questions and being really involved. It's much appreciated, and I can't wait for lockdown to be over, and maybe we can meet up, Adam, do some collaborative work together like we did before. Another big shout out to the E2C lot. Thank you very much. Yeah, and we hope to see you next week on our Vote at 16 one. So all the best, guys. Take care.